everyone, and welcome back to my channel. On today's special video, I'm going to show you how I make my coffee infused whipped sugar scrub using brown sugar. I have a fair amount of foaming soap base that I purchased from Candle Science, and I definitely don't want that to go to waste. So it's in the best financial interest of my business to go ahead and use up that supply before I continue to make my own from scratch. And since I've mentioned this foaming soap base, I also want to mention that that is the very first ingredient in this recipe. First, I measure and mix my foaming bath whip with the mixer until it has a creamy-like texture and it's pretty easy to manipulate with your spatula. I also routinely use my spatula to scoop the bath whip from the sides of the bowl back into the bottom because the mixer has a tendency to push that batter against the sides of the bowl. Next, I separately measure my vegetable glycerin. Vegetable glycerin is an excellent choice for people with dry or sensitive skin. It attracts and locks moisture into the skin, and its pH is also close to the skin's pH, making it a great addition to people with sensitive skin. Now I'm going to measure some sweet almond oil. I absolutely love sweet almond oil in my sugar scrubs because it's lightweight, moisturizing, and it's full of fatty acids. The next oil I'm adding is grape seed oil. Grape seed oil is similar to sweet almond oil because it's also lightweight. However, I like grapeseed oil because it's also high in linoleic acid and antioxidants. Linoleic acid adds conditioning and moisturizing properties, while antioxidants are known to help prevent or delay some types of cell damage. Now I'm preparing to add SurfPro CC6, also known as PEG6 caprylic capric triglycerides. This is a water-soluble, non-ionic compound used as an emollient and emulsifying agent. Emollients are applied directly to the skin to soothe and help hydrate, and emulsifying agents are compounds that act as a stabilizer, preventing liquids that don't ordinarily mix from separating, like oil and water, for example. Next is one of my favorite steps, adding the fragrance oil. I'm using hazelnut coffee from Candle Science, and oh my goodness, if you're a coffee lover, I know you're going to love this fragrance. I also use it in my candles and wax melts, and the heat throw is amazing. I especially enjoy this fragrance oil in the fall and winter seasons. Now I'm preparing to add liquid Geral Plus. This is one of the most important ingredients in this recipe. Liquid Geral Plus is a broad spectrum preservative. This is especially important in bath products that may come into contact with water. Germs love water, so we need to protect our products and create the safest products that we can by preventing the growth of mold, yeast, and fungus. Vitamin E oil is a staple in most of my bath and body products because it adds moisturizing properties and it also extends the shelf life of fragrance oils by preventing them from becoming rancid. Grapeseed oil also has a tendency to go rancid, so adding vitamin E will make sure that my product's fragrances last long and strong. Once all of my liquid ingredients are added to the foaming bath whip, I'm going to use a spatula to first begin the mixing process. Then I follow through with the mixer to make sure that all of the ingredients are incorporated evenly. This next step is definitely not necessary, but I wanted to try and create different layers with different colors. So I divided my batter into 4 separate equal parts. First, you'll see that I'm using light brown sugar as my exfoliant and my choice in my first batch. Brown sugar is a gentler exfoliant than salt and granulated sugar, so I thought this would be a great addition to a sugar scrub because it can be used by people with extra sensitive skin. Also, the color from light brown sugar is all that I'm using to color this part of my sugar scrub. I'm not adding any artificial colorants, micas, or clays in this product. For the next batch, you'll see that I'm using dark brown sugar as my exfoliant. It has all of the advantages of a light brown sugar, but it adds a more dark and richer brown to help separate my layers. I'm sure you could use a strainer to break up some of the clumps, but the sugar was so soft, I really didn't have any issues with clumping. My third batch was made with granulated white sugar. I was thinking this would represent the frothed milk or creamer at the top of your coffee. The last color I decided to do was blend half of my dark brown sugar and half of my light brown sugar. I wanted there to be layers, but I didn't want it to be too dramatic. I wanted them to be smooth and blend together. And here are the 4 color blends that I came up with. I had a choice between 2 different coffees to add to my sugar scrub for some extra exfoliant and fragrance. I decided to go with Folgers because the grains were a little bit larger and I was afraid that Cafe Bustelo would add too much color to my scrub. So I decided to add about 1/4 of a teaspoon of coffee grounds to each batch and mix it thoroughly. Then I took the blender out one last time to thoroughly mix the batter with the sugar and coffee grounds. To help maintain the integrity of each batch of color, I used the mixer to mix the white batch first, then I moved on to the other batches from lightest to darkest. I'm going to be honest with you all. I am not the best at piping, but I think I'm starting to get better at it. I recently brought press and seal, and that seemed to work better than the plastic wrap that I'm using in this video. So just bear with me as I go through these growing pains. But that's also what makes this channel so fun. I've gotten so much advice and input from my viewers, and it's helped me learn a lot. The nozzle I was using was definitely too small, and it would have taken me all night to pipe these scrubs. So I decided to remove the nozzle and try piping it with a wider mouth, and that seemed to work better. I used the plastic wrap with every color separately to make my layers, and I think they turned out beautifully, so I was happy because this is the color scheme that I was actually aiming for. And here are the final sugar scrubs. They smelled so good, and I think I nailed the design I was going for. If you want the recipe, including the step-by-step instructions and link to where I purchased my materials and supplies, that will be posted on my Patreon, which is linked in the description box below. Please give me a huge thumbs up if you thought this content was helpful, and please subscribe and hit that notification button so you can be notified anytime I post new videos. Until next time, bye guys.